Tiffany Stratton left in tears, assaulted on SmackDown by legendary WWE champion. Tiffany Stratton was attacked on SmackDown tonight. She was left in tears by a legendary WWE champion. Charlotte Flair returned at the 2025 Royal Rumble and won the titular match. She took her time, but eventually announced that she would challenge Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania 41. This is set to be Stratton's biggest challenge since winning the WWE Women's Championship. Tonight on SmackDown, Stratton was speaking to Nick Aldis when Chelsea Green and Piper Niven interrupted them. Chelsea was upset that she had to defend her Women's United States Championship tonight and claimed she had been bullied into a match. Stratton asked her to keep quiet. Piper asked if she was trying to censor them, and Stratton challenged her to a match. However, Chelsea denied, saying Piper is busy tonight. However, Nick Aldis said that Piper worked for WWE before making the match official. Piper Niven took Tiffany to the limit in the match, but it was not enough as the WWE Women's Champion picked up the win. However, after the match, Charlotte Flair ambushed Stratton. She then locked in her signature Figure Eight lock. At the end of the segment, Tiffany was left crying in pain as Flair stood tall over her. It will be interesting to see if Tiffany Stratton will be able to retain her title at WrestleMania 41. WWE veteran has a vicious possible plan for Charlotte Flair to inflict pain on Tiffany Stratton in their feud. Charlotte Flair is set to lock horns with Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania 41 for the WWE Women's Championship. Ahead of their title match, Bully Ray, aka Bubba Ray Dudley, shared his thoughts on what should be included in the feud between the Queen and the Buff Barbie in a recent episode of the Busted Open Radio. Bully Ray envisioned a segment where Charlotte Flair would apply the Figure Eight Leglock to Tiffany Stratton, causing her to pass out. He suggested that the Queen should then retrieve scissors from her bag. The WWE Hall of Famer wants Flair to deliver a promo addressing the constant comparisons between herself and Tiffany Stratton, particularly regarding their blonde hair. I have this vision of Charlotte putting the Figure Eight on Tiffany Stratton and Tiffany Stratton passing out from the pain, and this would be a segment. And then Charlotte Flair rolls out of the ring, and she goes to her purse or whatever, and she pulls out a pair of scissors. I want Charlotte Flair to cut the promo about how the comparisons, and now, Ray said. Bully Ray further explains what WWE star Charlotte Flair should do to Tiffany Stratton with scissors in her hand. In the same podcast, Bubba Ray Dudley proposed that Charlotte Flair cut a single strand of the center of the universe's hair, placing it in a bag. The veteran wants this move to symbolize the Queen's ability to eliminate all comparisons. Bully Ray believed that the 38-year-old star would eliminate all comparisons at the showcase of the Immortals, emphasizing Tiffany Stratton's inferiority. The WWE legend believed Flair would assert that the Buff Barbie was not on her level. Charlotte Flair takes one strand of Tiffany Stratton's hair, just one lonely strand, and cuts it off, and takes that one strand of hair and puts it in a baggie or whatever. And that one strand represents that at any given moment Charlotte Flair could have taken away all the comparisons of Tiffany Stratton to Charlotte Flair. At WrestleMania, I'm going to get rid of all of the comparisons because you are not the Queen and you are not the wrestler Charlotte Flair would ever be, Ray said. Fans will have to wait and see if Flair can dethrone Stratton to become a 15-time WWE Women's World Champion this April. Elimination Chamber. WWE Elimination Chamber 2025 results. Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus beat Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. In Canada, WWE Elimination Chamber 2025 saw Trish Stratus compete once again in Canada. In front of her hometown crowd, WWE Hall of Famer Trish Stratus teamed up with WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton in a hard-fought battle against the dominant Nia Jax and the crafty Candice LeRae. While it was a strong start for the fan favorites, Jax quickly turned the tide, using her sheer power to toss Stratus around in a manner rarely seen throughout her legendary career. LeRae capitalized on the momentum, delivering a series of precise strikes that left Stratus struggling to regain her footing. The Hall of Famer endured a relentless beatdown, but the fans in attendance rallied behind her, chanting her name as she fought to stay in the match. After what seemed like an eternity, Stratus finally managed to evade a crushing splash from Jax and crawl to her corner. She stretched out, reaching for the tag, and finally, Tiffany Stratton exploded into the match. The reigning women's champion wasted no time, showcasing her
Charlotte
athleticism
Flair broke
with a
picture-perfect
long-standing
dropkick on
WWE
Bubba Ray,
tradition,
followed by a
she's a
powerful
perfect
clothesline
natural
that
heel.
sent
Charlotte
Jack
Flair
Staffage
triumphantly returned to wrestling at the WWE Royal Rumble Premium Live event, competing in her first match in over a year after a serious knee injury. She was pre-announced for the match, so it wasn't a surprise moment, but in typical Flair fashion, she made sure everyone left the show talking about her. That's because the Queen returned with a bang, winning the Women's Royal Rumble and booking her place at WWE WrestleMania 41. However, after a brief moment in the sun as a babyface, fans brought her crashing back down to earth with a bang by booing her out of the building the following night, proving her quality as a heel by going against a classic wrestling tradition. Typically, in wrestling, whenever someone returns from a serious injury, they're welcomed back with a babyface run because fans are just happy to see them. Considering the length of time that Charlotte was sidelined for, coupled with her general star power, most people presumed that would be the case here. Charlotte Flair didn't get the welcome back babyface run. Flair got a good reception in the Royal Rumble match itself, and that seemed to set things up positively for a babyface run. However, the next night on WWE Raw, fans hated her again, and it was as if no time had passed from her previous run in WWE, despite the fact she was cutting a genuinely babyface promo about the adversities she's dealt with and the problems she's had to overcome. Fans just seem to have zero sympathy for Flair. It's a unique situation for someone to be in, but it does prove that she's a genuinely fantastic heel. And that's not easy to find when someone is also a terrific in-ring talent like she is. That WWE consistently makes booking mistakes with Charlotte Flair. Big reason fans immediately turned on Charlotte Flair after her return is that there appears to be nothing new with her character or in how WWE is booking her. From the moment she arrived on the main roster, WWE has forced her into main event positions, racking up title wins to seemingly catch her father's record as quickly as possible. None of that aligns with a babyface, so people prefer to cheer the likes of Bayley or Becky Lynch. Fans like to see someone scrap and earn their opportunities, and returning from a serious injury like Flair did provide WWE the chance to tell that story with Flair, having her narrowly miss out and be forced to scrap for everything. However, WWE just had her waltz back and immediately won the Royal Rumble. That's the same type of booking the company has always done. Unfortunately, at this stage, audiences are genuinely tied to it. Flair might be an incredible professional wrestler, but she has become stagnant, and that's a problem for her character. The fact that fans wasted no time telling WWE exactly that isn't a positive sign either. There are certain wrestlers who fans cannot imagine as a heel, such as Rey Mysterio, but Charlotte Flair falls into the opposite category. While she's been a babyface in the past, it is a role that's never quite suited her and has never felt truly organic or natural when it has been attempted. Charlotte Flair is unlikely to ever work as a babyface. A big reason for that is her overall presentation. While some fans can get cheered for claiming they're the best in the world, such as CM Punk, Flair cannot. Seeing her walk out in huge robes or wearing designer gear for promos all push a classic heel character, and her often arrogant persona only supports that Flair is a genuinely brilliant heel who always gets a massive reaction from the fans, which is crucial for anyone in this role. WWE doesn't have many of these at the top level, and that's why the company might just consider never changing her at this point. The path forward for Charlotte can already be seen, as she is now fully leaning into her heel gimmick, as was shown on last week's SmackDown during her promo with Tiffany Stratton. There's no turning back now. Charlotte Flair shows off new physique. Sends message to fans. Charlotte Flair showed off her impressive new physique on social media following this week's edition of WWE Raw. Flair missed over a year of action due to a major injury before her return at Royal Rumble 2025. That the veteran returned to the ring during